Hi, welcome to the More Gems Show. I'm Steve Moriarty, your host, and with us tonight are my son, Michael, who is in charge of this production. Hello, Mike.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for coming. We are happy to be here, happy to be back in 2024.
And somewhat lucky to be here.
Lucky. Yeah, well.
Had some issues.
Some issues.
Yeah.
And also, we've got my brother, Jeffrey, who's here. Jeffrey.
Yes.
Jeff is our chat moderator tonight.
Yep.
And every night.
Yes. Yeah. We had some, if you've watched the show for a while, I think there was one other show where we had some technical issues, probably like 6 or 7 months ago. And we were running into some earlier, and we got it resolved though. So hopefully no one else out there runs into any problems on the website, but it should be resolved.
Cool.
Welcome, everybody.
All right.
So, anything to talk about? We want to jump into. There's probably a lot of new watchers tonight. Just to give you an idea, everybody, if you are watching on YouTube, so there is, if you do log in, there is like a chat option. If you're on desktop, it's on the right hand side. If you're on your phone, below, you can jump in, ask questions, talk with a lot of people. You know, I see Colleen's here, Sean's here, Adam's here, Outlaw Stacker is here, Ann's here. There are a lot of people right in the chat that are talking, and I'll be there moderating things. So if you have a question for Steve, for Michael, for myself, definitely make sure to log into YouTube or Gmail or your Google accounts. Hey, Amber's here. And we can talk through there. So definitely do that.
Cool. Well, we've got 42 stones tonight, and and usually we have 3, 4, 5
hidden gems.
Hidden gems.
That's the word you're looking for, Stephen. But Steve wanted to up it, and he told me, you know what, I want a bunch of hidden gems tonight. So instead of just the 4 remaining gems, each of those 4 will have 4 hidden gems in it. So every time we release one, it'll be a grouping of 4. And
so 16 hidden gems tonight.
Yes.
Right. And what those hidden gems are, for those who are new here and haven't seen our show, when we release the hidden gems, they're all 25% off. And those won't be released until we get to them. So you'll have to go on MoreGems.com, and you'll want to refresh the page, and then they'll show up once Jeffrey uploads them. Sometimes he's a little slow, but that's okay, Jeffrey.
No, that's the problem we find is, like, you know, as we're releasing these stones, some people skip ahead and purchase beforehand. So if you're new here, this is how it's going to work. You know, Steve's going to be talking about a lot of these gems, these new. We'll go into what you did the past month, but you'll be able to purchase any of the stones that are shown on the show tonight. You're going to get 15% off with the coupon code CHEERS. Cheers. And what you got to do is you just got to go to MoreGems.com. There's a banner that shows it. It should be right above the chat area. You go to MoreGems.com. There's going to be a big green banner. You click through, and you're going to see all the stones. And you can go through. If you find one you like that Steve talked about, you can go through and purchase it. Use the coupon code CHEERS, and you're going to get 15% off in the checkout. We accept credit card. We accept PayPal. And we have 2 different finance options now. We have Affirm, and we have, what's the other one? There's so many
They
now.
change
Bread.
so often.
Bread.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people wanted Affirm. So we have Affirm available as well. So if you want to finance it over time, you can do that. But I think that's, so I think that's everything.
So
And we also offer layaway.
Yes.
Which layaway you'll have to come back tomorrow and give us a call, and we'll set you up on layaway. And you have up to 6 months to pay. We hope for regular payments, but we do extend layaway for 6 months. So we just can't do it tonight, but just give us a call in the morning.
And so Jeffrey, are all the stones live right now?
No, they're not.
They're not?
Slow. Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm slowly adding them.
Okay.
But you can, if you go to that page, like we said, on MoreGems.com, you'll start seeing me slowly add the stones there. But these will be all the ones that Steve's going to be talking about tonight. So I'm working on it.
So as Jeffrey's working on it, just refresh the page a few times. It'll probably give them, 10 minutes, and then most of them should be on there. And then, if you do see something you like, it's a good idea to get on it, because people do purchase the ones that they love as soon as they can, because they don't want to miss out. Hop on there and check them out as we talk about them.
So just a little explanation on some of the pricing on the website. You'll see a regular price on there, which is based on the gem guide. As it says, it's a market-driven independent pricing guide. This is what many in our industry use. And if you are in the industry, you can purchase the gem guide. It comes out every 2 months. And what they do, they go to the shows like the Tucson Gem Mineral Show, which we're about headed to. And they go around and they talk to the dealers, and they get prices on stones. And they produce this gem guide, which has just a wide variety of gems in it. They break down corundums into blue sapphires, blue star sapphires, color change sapphires. So it's a really in-depth guide, and it gives a wholesale price for the stones that we're going to look at tonight. We use this wholesale price, use their recommended markup, and that's where we get our normal price on these stones. And then our sale price is our regular price, the price we offer to you. And tonight you'll take 15% off with the coupon code CHEERS, or 25% off on the hidden gems.
And all these stones, newly released, many of them cut by Steve and Michael tonight. If you're new here, you're going to see some gems you probably never even heard of, you've never seen before. And again, that chat that's on YouTube, if you want us to show the stone again, or you want a closer picture of it, or if you want it on handy, a little hand next to Steve, wave the hand, Steve. We can show it on there for you. So anything that helps you, make an informed decision about your purchase, let us help. And plus, you can just ask questions in the chat. There's a lot of people here that watch every week or every month. So everybody's really helpful here, and I'm excited to start everything.
All right. Anything to say about Tucson? We're about headed to Tucson. We'll be going towards the end of the month. Tucson Gem and Mineral Show is the largest gem show in the world. Gemshow is a misnomer because it's actually 50 gem shows. There are 50 separate shows in Tucson, spread all over the town. Brings in people from around the world. Some of the people I deal with overseas will be at this show. So we go, and we go early because our regular suppliers, we make every effort to get to them first. I often say that anybody that sees after me is just missing out on some great stones, because anything great, I'm just going to grab it. So it's important to see them first. There are many, many dealers, and many of the dealers that we see, they're just out there, they're roaming the show, and they're selling to the dealers that are at the show. And that's the people that we're after. So we'll be headed there. We'll go out for 2 weeks, and hopefully not spend too much money, but, hopefully we'll find some great things.
Awesome.
Any comments? So both Jeff and Michael will be coming out. It's always a good time.
Yes.
We enjoy it. Not only have fun buying stones that you love and meeting the people you've known for years, because I personally did the show up till 2001. And from beginning in 1981 till 2001, I showed at these shows. And after that, I just decided it's probably more fun just to go to the show and look around and sit there for 12 days behind a booth and selling off the best you own. So, So we're just go out there and shop the show and hopefully find some new and interesting things. Sometimes new things show up that haven't been found before. So we'll hope that'll happen. We've seen some suggestions of new peridot coming out of Tanzania, and hopefully some surprises.
And we'll get out of this single-digit temperature.
Yeah, I don't know where you guys are at, but we've been in the negatives, and today was a heat wave. I think it hit into the teens. So, yeah, we've had enough of that. And last week it was in the 70s in Tucson. Looks like it's going to be the 60s the first part of our week, but that'll be a pleasant change for sure. So let's get started. Our first stone is a Spinel. Spinels have been really the one of the more popular gems in the business. The price of Spinels has taken a significant jump because of this popularity. The popularity started from the Mahenge Spinels that came out of Tanzania because they were such a great pink, and they just became so popular that it just forced the prices of Spinels up fairly significantly. This first one is a Spinel. This actually comes from Vietnam. Just a great color, very reminiscent of the Mahenge Spinels, but probably a price of half of what Mahenge is currently going for. Mahenge has just gone nuts. While we were in Tanzania, that's all they could talk about is how expensive Mahenge was and how difficult it was to get those Spinels out of Mahenge. So I was glad to get several stones from Vietnam. Vietnam hasn't been quite as affected as the Spinels from Tanzania, but they still are popular and they've become more expensive. This particular stone weighs 1.22 carat. The normal price on it is $4,050. Our sale price $2,235, and with the 15% off, it's $1,899. So it's $1,557 per carat, which kind of puts it in the same pricing as what sapphires are currently. It used to be Spinels were half the price of sapphires, but the reds went up dramatically, became priced similar to what ruby is, and the rest of the Spinels have also taken a jump. But this particular stone, really a great stone. I mean, the cut is beautiful, just has a great shape, it's extremely brilliant. And that's part of what makes Spinels important is their brilliance because of high refractive index.
And Steve, I know you're talking about sapphire. Glenna wants to know, what's the hardness of Spinel?
Spinel's 7.5. So relatively hard stone. Over the years, I used to know my hardnesses, every one of them. Now I find myself just kind of go, I think it's, 7.5 is hardness on Spinel. But they're really durable stones. Hardness is only part of the story. Toughness is the other part that's extremely important. You can have a hard stone, but if it's not tough, it just won't take abuse, and that's a case with diamond. Diamond, extremely hard, the hardest stone we know. Toughness is only good. Sapphire is tougher than what a diamond is, and that's mainly because of the perfect cleavage that diamond has. So you hit it correctly, you can just split it in half. So beautiful stone here. I love the shape, and they mount real well. It's just a shape that you don't see very often in colored stones, because once they get darker than this, the ends of them end up dark. So it takes a little bit lighter stone to get bright and cheery like this one is.
Let's put it on the hand for him, Steve.
Get it on there straight. There we go. Hard to see. Could use a little more light there. But still make a nice size ring. Be beautiful piece.
And I believe that on the website now we've been taking pictures of the stones on a hand too, so they have that. If you do go to the product page, you'll see it, the size in relation to a hand as well.
Which helps. We've hired a new employee, Valerie, who's doing a really great job with the photography. And so now we're getting pictures, like Michael says, on the hand and pendants on the neck.
Colleen wanted to know if this is heat treated.
No, Spinels generally don't take heat treatment. I was in Bangkok once, and back at that time, Spinels were thought to never be heat treated. But I did see people on the street. At some of the businesses, I say on the street, it's just where they were heating. But they were heating Spinels. How successfully, I don't know. But generally, they're not heated. Completely natural colors. So, but these days, they're trying to treat everything, making an attempt, either treatments from heat or coatings. You have to be careful what's out there these days because there's so much going on. The cobalt spinels, there are cobalt spinels out there currently that they're putting a coating on. I think it's trying to think what material they're using. Maybe copper coating. But it's taken mediocre blues and making them into the cobalt spinels, which cobalt spinels can be $20,000 a carat. They're really dramatic prices. So up next is a tourmaline. This tourmaline comes from Congo. It's a stone I cut into this shield shape. Congo has been producing a wide variety of tourmalines, generally lighter colors, mostly unheated because they are lighter colors. Much of the tourmaline that's heated is because of excessive depth of color that makes them dark. So they heat them and lighten them up. But most of the material that's come out of Congo has been significantly on the light side. So lighter greens, lighter pinks has been much of the production out of Congo. Currently, production has dropped dramatically. Many have pulled out of Congo because there's so little production at this time. So this was a really great source for the last 10 years. Congo's been producing, and it appears that production is definitely on the downside. And, the people that I know that have gone to Congo or to Rwanda, which is a neighboring country, and buy there on the border, have just quit going because there's so little production. So this particular stone weighs 3.76 carats. The normal price of $1,840. Our sale price $890. And with the 15% off using the coupon code Cheers. It's $756 or $201 a carat. This is, again, for you people that have been around at the shows, this is my favorite color, but just something I like. And, it started with the garnets that come this color. And this particular color, it probably had been 20 years since I've seen this color. Back in the 1980s, early 1990s, I used to get this color. It was coming out of Madagascar. And between then and now, there's been no production of this color. So this is pretty much brand new production from Congo. And unfortunately now, little or no production. So not a good future for this particular color coming from anywhere.
Steve, just for everyone that's joining, can you explain the process that how we also custom design jewelry around these gemstones?
Sure. if you buy one of these stones, call us and tell us you're interested in doing something with it. If you have ideas of what you want to do, we'll incorporate those ideas in the creation of a piece. If you have an exact piece you want and it's a copyrighted piece, we'll make some variations on it so it doesn't infringe on copyright. But we can produce a design for you, send you the pictures of those designs, and the pictures that come from the computer, which we do computer-aided design, will be very accurate in what the final piece will be. We have very little issues of anybody saying, well, it doesn't look like what you sent me, because the computer produces the image, and that image is exactly produced in a wax, which we take and then lost wax cast a piece from that model. All the way through the process, there's no obligation to you. If you get a piece even and you're just not satisfied with it, you have full rights of return. We're very confident that what we produce will be satisfactory, and we have little issues with having to take returns, but more than happy to. So just give us an idea what you want. If you don't know, we'll send you some pictures of some things we could do, and we'll figure out something that you'll find that you love.
And to add on top of that, also, say hi to Martha's here, Lisa's here.
Hi, Martha. Hi, Lisa.
And then a couple questions. Sean wanted to know, you talked about the cobalt treatment. Anything to worry about that in Tanzanite?
No real surface treatments. They've talked about surface treatments and particularly adding some color to the back of a Tanzanite, generally towards a culet that will spread throughout the stone. I've never seen it, only read about it, but there's very little that's done to Tanzanites that are currently an issue. There's no synthetic. There's a few treatments that will enhance the color. We did we were looking at rough.
Yes, that's what I was going to.
Yeah, the rough is a little different because the surface is porous, and they can add color to the rough. So you have to be a little leery of that. We were shown that in Tanzania. So
okay, and to go back also with our gemstone or the designing that we do. I got this one designed for Christmas that you cut, Steve, I believe. So this is cool. I'm not usually a ring guy, but this was really cool. Yeah, so all you guys out there that don't know if you can wear gemstone rings, actually, I got a lot of good compliments on this one. It looks really good. So we can do it for you too.
Yeah, and men's ring is an area that we've kind of left out of the business, and this year we're going to focus on getting some men's rings because it's the most what would it be? There's no production. Nobody's producing. Underdeveloped portion of this business is men's rings, and many men are into gemstone rings. It's been somewhat of a tradition in the past. You look back at the 30s and 40s, these synthetic rubies that came out then were just really popular at that time in men's rings, and we're finding that we produce a lot of men's rings, but we don't have a lot in stock, and we're going to work on that.
Yeah. So. And a few people wanted a close-up here. I don't know. I'm on a camera that's not the best, so but this is Spessartite garnet, correct? Steve?
Yes.
Yeah. So a really cool ring. Yeah, I love it. But going on from that, let's see. Cerise, thanks for joining us. Reach Me. This is about a Savorite. He wanted to know, do we use GIA color grading for Savorites?
I don't use GIA color grading at all because most people don't understand it. I don't understand it. It developed from a system I used to sell, which was, it goes back so far, early 80s. There was a system that GIA picked up and changed the numbers and everything to it. But I don't find that people understand it, so I don't use it.
Is that color wheel that you used to
Yes,
have?
yeah.
I remember that as a kid. Wow, that was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago.
It was a fun toy.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what that company was. I sold it to jewelers, and they had these little plastic tabs that had a bunch of colors, full range of colors, and you just kind of matched up the color to it. So you could call me and say, I want color number 50 or whatever. So that's kind of what GIAs is, but it's a kind of difficult mix of things. And, for people to sit down and try and understand it, some of you will, but most won't. So I just don't use it. Our focus is on getting our pictures and videos accurate, so you can just literally see what it looks like and not try to understand what a number is in a colored stone.
Good. Keep those questions coming, everybody.
All right, up next is an opal. I like faceted opals, and we've done real well with them. This is a faceted opal, weighs 3.17 carats. Opal is very low density. So a 3-carat stone is like a 5-carat stone in other gems. It's dramatically bigger than what its weight would say it is. So this particular material works real well with it. This is from Ethiopia. They have pretty high transparency. They're what in Australia they would call crystal opal, just meaning it has high transparency. So what this does in this opal gives you a different look, for one thing. Plus, if you see, this is an emerald cut, so those long orange flashes in the back of the piece that you see, those are from reflections from the facets. So there actually is an effect that the faceting causes and adds some orange flashes to all the play of color that's in the opal. This is, if I could get those lights a little further away, it'd look more like what's pictured there, because the lights are so close, they just kind of blur the colors. But they just have just dramatic colors throughout. That's the thing about these Wilo Ethiopian opals. They're just some beautiful colors that you rarely see in Australian. I mean, Australian definitely has much of the finest opal in the world, but when I look at Ethiopian can compete color-wise with many of the Australian. On average, Ethiopian has better color than what the average Australian opal does. I know I'll get complaints about that. Yes, the top end of Australian is beautiful and just extraordinary, but the average one is white body and not a whole lot of color, whereas many of the Ethiopian opals that we have just are full of color. They're like much of the finest Australian. And this included, and just unique. I mean, look at the color front and back. I mean, it's everywhere. And these, when you get them in sunlight, they're just amazing. Sunlight is this particular opal's best friend. But they do look good in almost every light. So this particular stone, $430. We don't have a regular price on it because particularly the guide doesn't price this type of opal. So $430 is our regular price, and with the 15% off, it's $365 or $115 a carat. This size opal, the opal took me maybe 4 hours to cut. So part of the value in this opal is the amount of time cutting. But still, they're relatively inexpensive at just over $100 a carat.
Show it on the hand so people get a good idea of the size.
Oop. My hand. So it's a good size opal. Like I say, it would be 5-6 carat in most other stones. So make good size ring, good size pendant. just a pretty piece. Yeah. So this is what the rough looks like. They often have all this sand on them. This is, this opal formed inside a vacant cavity that was left by sometimes some organic material that dissolved and left a cavity. And then these hot fluids come up and flow through the cavity, fill the cavity, and that's where the opal forms. And this would be the surface of that vacant cavity. So these are somewhat difficult because you never know how deep that material goes into the piece. But really, really a nice piece of opal. It's probably 25 carat.
So from that, how do you figure out what shape to cut that?
Well, you cut all the sandstone away and see what you got left and cut out the divots and just see what the heck's left. Sometimes you lose half the stone just getting it ready to decide what to cut from it. I don't think this one's that bad, but this material here always goes deeper than you think. Sometimes just you go, geez, there's nothing left to cut. I don't think it'll be the case with this one. I'm getting better at leaving those stones with the supplier, but it's still difficult.
Question from Fancy Pants, like the name. He's asking, from your long career in gemstone cutting, have you ever got a chance to cut painite?
Painite? No. Don't want a chance. I'm sure it's probably a pain to cut. I've got, things I do cut that are annoying are apatite. I've kind of quit cutting apatite. I have some huge pieces of apatite that don't exist in the world today, but I just can't get myself to sit down and cut it because it's just difficult to polish. I've cut many, many of them. And once you cut them, you have to be extremely careful with them because they have such low toughness that they damage easily. So
then I get it in the shop and I have to worry about it.
Yeah, and then he's got to set it, and then I've got to repair it, and and other stuff. What did we buy last? Rhodonite.
Yeah, it was rhodonite that you had a hard time.
I only cut one, and it's fractured on me, which is common. So I'm just trying to avoid those stones. I got enough stones that are difficult. Tanzanite's difficult enough polish for me that I just want to limit difficulty. I like cutting those different stones, but it just can be frustrating. I don't know painite is a problem, but it sounds like its name is an indicator of whether you want to cut it or not. But let me know if you're cutting one. Let me know how it goes, and who knows? We may see it in Tucson. I still buy the stuff that I don't want to cut just because if there's anything really fine, it's still worth owning. Whether you sell it as rough or you cut it. When something comes out new, as was the rhodonite last year. We got some big piece of rhodonite, and before that year, the value of a cut rhodonite that's, I've got a piece that probably cut a 10 carat, probably $1,000 a carat. It was non-existent before then. And this year it may be non-existent again. I probably should take the rough to Tucson and I could probably sell it and make some money. If it disappeared, if the supply was like many of them, that it's here today and gone the next, you can make your money up in a year. So we'll see. We'll see what's out in Tucson and whether there's any rhodonite or painite.
And just to hop in here, I see some new people are hopping in, and looks like a couple people. Susan, she thinks the show's fascinating. So if anybody else thinks the same, be sure to give us a like. share the video to your friends, and go ahead and hop in and leave us a comment. Tell us where you're watching from.
All right, next stone up is Tanzanite, Tanzanite is Sapphire entire business. We bought a lot of great stuff in Tanzania and Kenya this last trip. I don't think this is one of them. I think I bought this previous. I'm not sure where this one came from. But anyway, it cut a great stone. A shield shape and just really a beautiful gem. Has a little bit of red flash to it, but the color on it's extraordinary. This one weighs 9.66 carat. My overall grading is 953. My grading system encompasses the cut, which I break down cut into several factors and get a cut grade, and then the clarity grade goes from all these. I grade cut, clarity, and color, and they're all a 1 to 1,000 grading. So I grade cut with the quality of the cutting, the quality of the polish, the brilliance of the stone, and grade color and give it a color grade. Whether it's more blue or more violet, it gets a color grade, and also the clarity grading. So a stone that's flawless. Actually, the highest I grade is VS1. A VS1 gets 1,000 rating. So I take those three that are graded from 1 to 1,000, add them up, divide by 3, and that gives me this final number. So a 953 is a high grading. This particular stone, so it is a VS1. So it's just a very high quality stone. Things over 950 are in the upper 5% of all the stones that I feel. They're the upper 95%, just being a 950 and above. So anyway. So this last trip, both Michael and Jeffrey went down in the mines. I skipped it this time. I've been down twice, and
You did, yeah.
yeah, and it's quite a trek going down because it's very steep. I don't know what that. I don't know. It's like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
it's
down
hot.
pretty deep. I don't know exactly how far they went down, but they're well beyond seeing. And when you look up from the bottom of that hole, you see this little tiny dot up there. That's the entrance to the mine, and kind of gives you I don't know what kind of feeling, but a foreboding feeling that you're down so far. Yeah, not for the claustrophobic, for sure. I was glad when they came out. Oxygen is always the concern.
Yeah. And it's hot. It's dirty.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Just the sparkle of graphite in the air. Yeah. I don't know how they mine and, they do wear masks, but yeah, I'm not sure how protected they are because that air is just glistening with graphite. Yeah. So anyway, this particular stone weighs 9.66 carat. Praised value or our normal price is $11,100. Our online price is $67.35, and with the 15% off, the stone is $5,725, which is $592 a carat. Just good brilliance throughout the stone. I always cut to ideal angles. You'll not see our stones windowing like many. You rotate them far enough, they're going to window, but when you look straight on them, they're just fully brilliant. So big stone.
See, Chris Clemens is in the chat. What's up,
Hey,
Chris?
So your picture's out there. You're a lucky man to have moved from Indiana to Utah. Looks beautiful.
Some questions as well dealing with Tanzanite. Let's see. So Susan wants to know how the mining situation is in Tanzania.
Well, while we were out there, it was horrible. The availability of new material was non-existent. I mean, it was so bad that we left Tanzania and went to Kenya, which was a great move. Pat myself on the back. Yep. Because there was nothing in Tanzania. The advantage of Kenya is Kenya has what was mined last month or 2 months before. And the cutters, just like me, I mean, I have rough from 10 years ago. And the cutters that we dealt with, fortunately had a back stock of material and were cutting material. So there was cut goods available. Very little Tanzanite rough at the time, but we found other rough that was available. But we were successful in a lot of cut stones. But in Tanzania, the people I regularly deal with, I call the one guy that, you have to have somebody there sponsor you to come into the country. And this guy sponsored me to come into the country. So I had high hopes of doing some business with him. I call him, he says, no use to come. I have nothing. So that was the case of things in Tanzania. There was just no production from the mines. So when you're that close to the mines, you're seeing what is there from the last week or very, very short period of time, and there just wasn't anything. So further you go, get away from the mine, you go back in time, to what was available weeks ago or months ago, and it worked out for us to go to Kenya, and we had success. But Tanzania was kind of a disaster. But it was a fun trip, but it's just great. We left there and, we had a great time and did our safari, and, it was a learning experience for the two boys that hadn't been there before. But leaving the country was a good thing.
Couple more questions. Brad, we've talked about this before, but Brad wants to know, is the blue Tanzanite typically more valuable than purple?
No. The value is somewhat on depth of color. There are websites out there that are pushing blue as being what you want. But I'm totally the reverse of that. I mean, blue is great, but purple is what most of the Tanzanite is, being more purple than blue. So in Tanzanite business was built on what is available, and that being stones with more purple are what's more available. So Tanzanite business was not built on blue. Blue is beautiful, as is the stones that are more purple. They're all mixed. They show different colors and different lights. They're going to be more violet and incandescent, more blue in daylight. But a higher proportion of the stones are strongly violet, either 50% blue and violet, or even more than that would be the higher proportion of the stones. So I look at Tanzanite as not really being the blue end of the stones being the more valued, just the depth of color of the stones, and when you look at small stones, the ones that are more blue are definitely not prettier. They just have an unusual blue color that's not extremely attractive. As you get into bigger stones, as I'll show you, I've got one in here that's really, really blue, and it's gorgeous. But it's a big stone, and that intensity of color in the blue is beautiful. They get like sapphire blue. And this particular stone we're showing now is more to the blue. It is 55% blue and 45% violet. So it's stronger blue than violet, but still has that mix. And this is what we expect from Tanzanite.
Last question. Colleen, she saw like a large 67 karat Tanzanite that was told her that it was untreated. She said it looked more gray, though. She wants to know, have you ever seen one like that, or the reason for that?
More gray. Yeah, I gotta assume it was lighter color, not intense color. But as you see, over the last year, we've had many fancy stones. Some that are more gray, but typically would not be the most desirable color. It just depends on how much blue and purple were actually still in it. If gray was just a secondary tone, but it would not make the stone more valuable for sure. All right, up next. This is one of the stones we bought the rough in Kenya. This particular material comes from Tanga in Tanzania, but we did buy it in Kenya. This is kind of a unique stone, and I'll show you why in a second. This particular stone weighs just over 17 carats. I just finished it this week. They just have extreme brilliance. Zircons have very high refractive index, so therefore they can produce a very brilliant gem. And this particular material also produces a dramatic, lost the word, dispersion. Thank you. Very strong dispersion. And you get this in the right light, you'll just see it, just like a diamond does, produces all these different colors. This stone will do that also. Not only do you get brilliance, you get dispersion. So, this is one of the gems that's pushing closer than any colored stone to the refractive index of diamond. And that's why you get extreme dispersion and brilliance out of it. This material is heated. And we're actually going to try and show you how they're heated, because it is really a dramatic change and a unique way of heating. Many stones we heat our tanzanite ovens here in the back, and you put it in the oven and heat it to over 1,000 degrees, and the color changes. And it's a pretty controlled, computerized oven. But the zircons, because zircon is so heat tolerant, you can pretty much abuse it in ways that you wouldn't do a tanzanite, you wouldn't do pretty much any other gem. So I'm going to try and show you how we do this. So I've got a piece of rough here. I'm going to need So this is zircon from Tanga. Do I have a light? The material to start with is very dark. Where am I at? But you can see there is this peachy red color in it, but if you take the light away, it's almost black. You can barely see any color to it. So this is highly secret in the business, what I'm going to show you right now, but and pretty technical, being facetious. So the zircon goes in a test tube. Uh-oh. Forgot a prime ingredient.
Really do these shows live. Not always.
All right.
So did you tell them what you're actually doing then?
What I'm doing?
Yeah.
I'm taking this dark stone and hopefully making it lighter is the purpose of this heating. and which is the purpose of heating many stones. Tanzanite, we're taking out a yellow color and leaving blue and purple. This stone, we're just trying to lighten it because there's pinkish in it, and it's deep red with some pinkish tone to it.
James wants to make sure you're not making a nuclear zircon bomb there. Science guy.
All right. So there's our flame. There's our zircon. And we kind of slowly warm up the test tube. Not very slowly because I'm sure it's changing quickly. The temperature of this flame, I've tested it, and it's somewhere in the 900-degree range. So usually I heat these after I cut them because you like to cut away anything that may be a problem. So if you preform it or facet it, you'll get you pretty much know you've got the worst stuff out of the surface, and you'll have less risk of it breaking. But if you heat it beforehand, if it were going to break, you don't have your 5-6 hours of work into faceting it. So there is some benefit to heating it before you cut it. So just slowly introduce it into the flame.
Steve, where do you want this hot plate?
Anywhere I can reach it. Not, well, you can put it there, I guess. Yeah, that'll work. This is a little faster than I normally do it, but I've never had a problem yet. I'm sure something will come up. If there's inclusions in them, that's where you have risk. The inclusions expand and cause a fracture. So we're getting down close to where the hottest part of the flame is.
If you've enjoyed watching the show, give us click that little thumb that's right below the video. It's at 30 right now. Let's get it up there.
Yeah, I never quite kept track of how long this does take, so hopefully you guys have a little time. It doesn't take too long, but could be a couple of minutes.
So is there any other stones that you do the same process with, or it's only been zircon?
Just these zircons. Oh, there's people that do, but, and this is how some stones were heated before. Tanzanites in early days, they heated it not much different than this. It's just the risk of heating stones like this is much greater than taking a slow time. But the advantage to heating like this is you can see what's happening. And, this particular stone, it's hard to overheat it, but some stones, you'll see them change and you'll want to stop the process. Where if you put it in an oven, you can't see the change, so you don't know when to stop the process. So this is about to the point where it's the hottest part of the flame.
Does heating make the stone weaker?
Does it what?
Make it weaker.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear. Make it weaker?
Weaker.
Not this stone. Well, I say that, but blue zircons, which they heat higher, it causes the surface to chip easier because heated blue zircons are known for the facet edges chipping. If you look at blue zircons from back in the days or Zircon, when it was a diamond simulant. Back in the 40s, Zircon was the diamond simulant, ones that are colorless. And they heated them higher, and it caused the surface to get more brittle. And that's true of sapphires too. Heating sapphires, the surface is more brittle. When I cut a heated sapphire, I can tell the difference the way it cuts over one that's unheated. And I think we're about there. Yeah. Whether that's, probably fully heated. That one's pretty light. We'll see. Hopefully not overheated. I haven't overheated one yet. This one looks pretty light, but yeah, you may have seen it first. But even overheated, the lighter is still extremely bright, very pretty, diamond-like brilliance, and very nice dispersion. So if it's a little on the light side, it's still a very pretty stone, But that would, I've heated. You'll see 3 of them tonight that I've heated, and the colors came out great. And yeah, we'll see how this one is. If it overheats, I'll know next time that not quite so far, but it'll still be a beautiful gem. So we'll see that once it cools off. Takes a while to cool off, so later in the show we'll see what that stone looks like. So that's the process for heating these, and that's what. Yeah, that's what this stone we're looking at here. Which is really very happy how this stone came out. It's beautiful color. Again, my favorite of colors. So this stone, I don't know if I ran through it. It's the normal price is $7,010. Our sale price of $43.20, and with the 15% off, that stone is $3,672 or $212 a carat. So, big gem. This is kind of the opposite of the opal, though, that this is an extremely dense material. And so it has a little bit smaller look for a given weight than other stones. But still, this is a nice big stone, make a great pendant or a ring. Comes from Tanga, which is on the northeast side of Tanzania, right near the coast. There's other material that comes from Singida, but Singida won't heat to this color. Some of them do heat that peachy color, but they're definitely the ones that when you heat them, once you get the color you want, it's too late because it'll continue to lighten on you, and you end up with nothing on that material, just very difficult to heat. Okay, up next there, Mike. Next stone is another zircon. Nope, no, it's not. First set of hidden gems there, Jeff.
Right when I'm switching computers up here, you guys got to do the hidden gems on me.
Jeffrey's battery died on his one computer. He's on to the next.
Yeah.
But give him a couple minutes here. So these 4 stones, once Jeffrey gets them set up and live, they'll be the first 4 stones on MoreGems.com on the when you click that green banner. If you're on that site right now, make sure you just keep clicking refresh, and those will show up shortly.
So the first one, the green tourmaline, is just a really pretty green color with blue-green mixed into it. That stone weighs 1.89 carats. And with the 25% off, it's $671. The pink one pictured there is a garnet that comes from Mahenge. Mahenge is another source that his production is down dramatically from what it was. And these colors, these pink colors from Mahenge, before Mahenge, they really didn't exist in the world. You know, that light of pink of color in a garnet was pretty much non-existent. You might see it on very rare occasion as a fluke from someplace, but really just didn't exist. The other oval is another zircon, also from Tanga, weighs 5.21 carats. You know, the Mahenge garnet, you know, it's another one. This type of garnet is what caused the prices of garnets to take just a dramatic jump, particularly just as COVID came. They were new and rare and just colors we hadn't seen. So it just created a lot of interest in garnets and increased the price, some stones doubling in price from previous years. But they're well worth it because they have a brilliance and a beauty that kind of compares to what you would see in a diamond. You know, they're just high refractive index, and just garnet is just a great stone. You know, as we've seen with Tsavorite, one of the other stones here, they've become so popular, particularly this year. As we were in Tanzania, they just talked about how much demand there was for Tsavorite and how things had changed. And up to that time, I hadn't felt it. But right after that trip, we just started selling Tsavorites. You know, it just like the whole business turned on. So all those four stones, they're 25% off. So are they up there yet, Jeff?
Yep. All you got to do is, for those joining us, just go to MoreGems.com. Should be a link in the chat, and click on that banner, and that'll take you to the collection of all the gemstones. Then you just hit refresh, or if you're already on it, just hit refresh, and you should see the first 4 hidden gems. I put hidden gem next to them. And then use, if you like any of them, add them to your cart. Use coupon code RARE25. That'll give you 25% off that listed price. And then you can purchase with credit card, PayPal, or financing through Affirm and Bread.
So how's that zircon doing? You think that's cooled down yet?
No, they're very, very slow to cool down, actually. We may be able to, yeah, the color's good. The test tube's going to be hot.
This.
Yep. Oh, don't touch that.
Oh.
It may have cooled down, but they're slow to cool.
Yeah, that's all right. My fingers are burnt from the top, so
Is it hot?
it's not bad. All right, let me get this camera fixed up here.
Yeah.
Hidden gem.
Is Mahenge Malaya garnet? Yeah.
Yeah, can you show that on a hand?
Yeah.
Did we lose it again?
Yeah, I probably should quickly show the. Oops, that's not it.
I can get it fixed.
Batteries okay?
Battery should be all right. Just doesn't want to come back up for me.
I don't know if my hand will show it better. Am I just seeing that? They're still seeing me, or?
Yeah, they're still seeing you.
Oh, okay. So it's a good sized stone. Yeah. Oop.
And on the website, all of these stones should have a picture on a hand as well. So if you go to the product page itself and click through, you should see a photograph on a hand with each of these stones.
And there's the Spinel or the Zircon. Tourmaline. Well, I don't know if you. And the Sapphire, which, as we've seen in the past, the settings we use on this camera do not show greens well. Because this is really a great color Sapphire, just a beautiful, intense green. So that's the 4 hidden gems, 25% off. I guess I could show this, huh? So getting back to the heating. So here you can see the change from heating that zircon. Dramatic change. And again, this will cut a beautiful color, so it actually came out real nice. Very similar to that trillionth that we just showed you. So that's how you heat this particular color of zircon. Every source is different and heats differently. Okay, up next is another zircon. So this is a blue zircon that comes from Malawi. Camera's moved. So this is a 2 carat 60 round brilliant. I cut this one kind of a standard, well, not, it's actually a 16 mains pavilion and a little bit different brilliant crown. Seem to get that in focus real well. Pretty much a medium color for this particular material. The Malawi's pretty heavily zoned. I think last show we had a bicolor, didn't we? 2 shows ago. But this is just really a lovely medium blue with extreme brilliance. The Malawis are supposedly the most stable in color. This particular stone weighs 260. The appraised value is $1,144. $570 is our price online. 15 off takes it to $485, $186 a carat. The big thing about this is just really the quality of cutting is much like a fine diamond is cut. Malawi is a very new source for blue zircon. It's probably been 3 or 4 years, maybe. All right, up next is a Tanzanite. This is a 2 carat 40. The quality rating is a 947. For a smaller stone, this has really a good intense color. With size, you get deeper color, but this is just a beautiful gem. Even though it's really under 3 carat, again, as you get bigger, you get deeper color. Beautifully cut. This is from our cutter in Kenya, and they just do a great job of cutting. In general, I don't generally do better myself. Just a beautiful polish, beautiful placement of the facets. High clarity stone. This one, again, weighs 2.40 carat, appraised value of $1,920. Our online price, $1,260. With the 15% off, it's $1,071, or $446 a carat. So really good ring size. So it's about a 9 by 7 millimeter. And the next stone is another Spinel, another Vietnamese Spinel. What I like about this one is its shape. This longer shape just makes beautiful rings, beautiful pendants. You don't have to do an extreme amount of design to get a different looking piece. As a ring, I just think it's a great shape. Get it on there, right? Whoop. Jeweler's prayer meeting.
While Steve's looking, give him some good luck to find it and hit that thumbs up button. Love you. Give us a like, he'll find it faster.
Yeah, we got that. We're up to 82. Let's try to get 100. Yes, if
Jeffrey wants 100 likes.
you can click that little thumb underneath the video, and remember, if you want to see, we do a lot of other videos throughout the month, releasing new gems and just doing interesting stuff. Just make sure to click that little notification button, and you'll be notified.
Yeah, we have a camouflage flooring. But, again, it's just a really a cool shape for mounting, and it ultimately was the reason I picked this stone, because I just love the shape. Yeah, the color is pretty dramatic too, but and being a Spinel over 2 carat is much harder to get. A little floor dust on it. Just kind of a unique color that you don't see in many gems. See some garnets that are close, but not exactly. So just nice life as you rotate it. And again, I think it'd be a great ring. It weighs 252. 6,050 is the appraised price. 39.90 is our price online with the coupon code Cheers. It's 15 off, $3,391, $1,345 a carat. Which in the Spinel market these days is on the low end of what Spinels go for. It's really been the one stone that has gone up particularly more than most any other gems. You know, garnet again would probably be the other percentage-wise that has taken the same kind of price leaps.
Said he's seeing some orange flashes in the stone. Is that just the video or?
Yeah, I don't really see in it. You know, it's sometimes just the lighting, and you know, it's mostly violetish, pinkish red. Whatever that means. Yeah, it's a little tough to describe colors, but you know, assuming your monitor is normal, you know, the videos we take very special amount of time just to try and get them accurate. You know, do our best to represent them as closely as possible. You know, you can talk about color all you want and give them numbers, but, you know, until you see it, you just don't know it. But to me, looking at the stone and looking at the picture on the monitor, it is very accurate.
Gone to Vietnam for gems?
No, I haven't. Jeff's been to Vietnam.
Not for gems, but yes. I've been there.
Yeah. Well,
great country.
Yeah, and they do produce some great stones. You know, the aquas that come from there are really dramatic blue colors. The spinels. What else they get from there? There's some unique gems. I don't think of them offhand, but they do produce some nice colors. And I hope to get back to Thailand. Thailand was a country I've been to many times, and it was one of the best places to purchase gems of any. So hopefully in the next couple of years, we'll get back to Thailand. And that's one place that you're going to see a lot of Vietnamese material, because the market in Thailand is a huge market that used to be one of the biggest in Asia, and still is. So you'll see all the Asian gems there. All right, up next.
Jeffrey, we got the next round of hidden gems.
More hidden gems.
More hidden gems.
So for everybody that's joining us, or if you've been here, you're going to have to listen to me again. So hidden gems, if you go to MoreGems.com and click on that green banner, you're going to see all the gems that we have. I'm going to load up some hidden gems. These have not been loaded up yet, but if you like any of those, Steve's going to talk to you about them in a sec. Just add it to the cart. Put in coupon code RARE25, and you're going to take off 25% off that price. And then you can pay with credit card, PayPal, financing through a firm, bread, whatever you'd like. Now.
So these are all great tanzanites. This is an emerald cut that rates a 957 rating. Weighs 4 carat 19, and the price with the 25% off is at $430 a carat, which for a beautiful gem of this size is really a really good price. The next one is I have a 6 carat 23 oval. I think this one we bought in Kenya because the cutting is just beautiful. And it gets a rating of 963, which is rare in all the gems we carry, getting that high a rating. So really beautiful color, beautiful cut, high clarity. This particular stone ends up at $523 a carat, weighs 6.5 6.53 carat, 623. And then the Trilliant is a 5.95 carat, a 955 rating. And this particular stone comes in at $472 a carat with the 25% off. And it is more blue color. I think well, the emerald cut was more violet, the Trilliant more blue, and the oval more violet. I think they're all a pretty even mix. And the last is a round, and it weighs 3.60. And this particular stone, a little lighter color, but it comes in at $393 a carat for a 3.60 carat, just beautifully cut also. So those are the hidden gem tanzanites. And it looks like we have a sale.
Yep. I want to thank Larry P. He purchased the oval imperial zircon. Hidden gem.
Okay. Hidden gem. All right. Okay. Thank you, Larry.
Cool. Thanks, Larry. Great gem.
Yeah. If you want anything done with it, a design or anything, you can let us know. You can email us, call us tomorrow. We can hold it for you and do a design, or we can ship it out just like it is. So just let us know.
All right, up next. Another of the imperial zircons, like the one we just heated. This I cut into, it's a step Trilliant. Yeah, I think it worked out really nice. Yeah, that's okay. See, I didn't quite. I don't know if there's. Yeah, I think it's a beautiful color, and just the amount of brilliance is just a dramatic looking stone.
Yeah, this one, it doesn't go dead anywhere. How sometimes you see things window. Yeah, you got to tilt it pretty far.
You got to really tilt it, yeah. And that's that high refractive index that gives you that ability. And maybe a good cut. So this one weighs 6.76 carats. The appraised price is $2,034. Our price online of $1,220. And with the 15% off, it's $1,037 or $153 a carat. Pretty stone from Tanga in Tanzania.
Show it on the hand.
Sure.
It's right there, waiting for you.
We need to light this hand better, I think, somehow. Oh, is it hard to see on there? Or is it just me? My whiter hand shows better. Good size stone for ring or pendant. And again, durable enough for a ring. Again, there's that piece of rough. That'll pretty much cut that same kind of color.
For those who may have missed it, Steve did a little demonstration earlier heating this piece of rough. It was a lot darker. He said it was almost black, but he put it on under a flame and cooked it to this light color.
Took it from unsaleable to just a beautiful gem. And that's what heating does for many stones. You know, probably 50% of all the gems we sell have been heated. Many of them to lighten them, some to change the color. So the next one is a sapphire. This one I cut from material from Rock Creek in Montana. These particular stones are heat treated. This one weighs 1.94 carats. I almost got a 2 carat out of it. You know, just a really pretty green color. You know, you get quite a range of colors from Rock Creek. Unlike the material from El Dorado Bar, they still have a dramatic amount of colors, but most of the Rock Creek is very similar to this, just green and not much blue to it. So this I cut into a hexagonal, you know, pretty much was the shape of the rough. And it's a brilliant pavilion and a little different step cut crown. Just a really clean stone. You know, for sapphire, sapphire typically is included. It's a GIA type 2 stone, meaning that they're more often have inclusions. You know, they're not typically found completely clean. So this, I put VS1 to VS2 just because there was something in it. I didn't think it quite got a complete rating of VS1. What was in it is very minor, but, you know, just in all honesty, it's not completely clean. Well, I'm having so much difficulty getting that focus.
Smaller ones, there's just not a big focal range on the
But nice size stone. You know, once you get close to 2 carat, much of the Rock Creek material cuts carat and under. So getting a 2 carat is always an exciting thing for a cutter. Didn't quite make it, but really close to hitting that 2 carat size. So this sapphire from Rock Creek in Montana, carat 94, 38.80 is the appraised price, 29.10 is our price online, and 24.73 with the 15% off, $1,275 a carat. Yep, we have a sale.
Yeah, and just to let everybody know, you know, we do actually sell jewelry as well. So Bronson was watching the show, but he ended up buying some earrings, some blue topaz earrings. So thank you, Bronson.
Oh, that's what the sale is?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
cool. Thank you very much.
Shopping
Thanks.
elsewhere,
Yeah.
or
All right.
shopping, you know, for some jewelry.
That's
so
cool,
that works.
too.
We sell that as well. So we've talked about Steve and Michael cutting, you know, a lot of these gems. Shadow Band wants to know, he wants to get into gem cutting, but he doesn't want to pay thousands of dollars for a fast sitting machine. Do you have any recommendations on a cheaper, decent fast sitting machine for a beginner?
Unfortunately, not. You know, it is something that it is a high precision piece of equipment. and buying used or buying inexpensive machines makes it a difficult starting point for particularly a new cutter, because just little differences in the accuracy of a machine just creates so much difficulty for a novice cutter. The better the machine, the easier it is going to be for you to learn how to cut. So I have a hard time recommending a lot of the cheaper equipment out there, just because it's not going to give you the assistance that you really need. I could take a cheap piece of equipment and I could cut on it just because I know what I'm doing and I know what the machine is capable of or what I have to put into it. But for a new cutter, getting a machine that doesn't work, and that's how I started out. And it took me a long time to get to be a better cutter. And then to get to be a good cutter, I had to buy a better machine is the only way I was going to become a great cutter. So the quality of the machine is so important in what you do. And that's why we recommend the machine back here, which is the Ultratech V5, just because it has the ability to produce a great cut. Even though you're not a great cutter, your first cut on a fine machine can be a beautiful gem. Your first cut on a cheap machine or a used machine is likely going to be frustration and lead to just quitting early, and not fulfilling your desire to be a good cutter. So currently I really have no recommendations on a cheap machine. Just have a hard time recommending it because I know the difficulties involved. And, it's something that if you're really interested, you really need to step up and put the money out for a quality piece of equipment. And you'll end up being a gem cutter rather than one that just gives up because the machine won't do what you need it to do. When you need it, and that's when you're just beginning. It's just a low quality piece of equipment is just it's just really impossible to deal with for somebody new that's trying to learn on something that just can't do what it needs to do to start with. So unfortunately, I don't have a recommendation. Yeah. Definitely, this is a recommendation for people that can, it's over $5,000. It's, what seems to be a lot of money, but these days, so many things cost that kind of money when you go out to buy things, and this is something that will make you money, right from the start. Your first cut on this machine or your second cut, it's just going to be a beautiful gem. It may not be perfect, but as you learn, you'll find that on this machine, you can produce perfection. Whereas on something lower quality or lesser expensive used machines, it doesn't have the ability to, even in experienced hands, to produce a perfect cut. So, all right, where are we at? All right. Speaking of first cuts, not quite his first cut, but
yeah, one of the first. I don't know.
Maybe your first Zircon.
This was my second blue Zircon.
Did you do the square first?
Yeah, I did.
I guess you did. Okay.
That one's here too. But.
Yeah. So Michael cut this stone into a Barian emerald cut is the cutting style. And a beautiful job. Again, cut on the Ultratech V5. And Michael is, in many ways, he's a better cutter than I, and particularly because he takes the time to get things perfect. I find time important, and maybe I take a few shortcuts. I hit near perfection, but you know, to hit perfection, you've got to take the extra time. You know, it can take you double the time to cut a stone to get perfection. So you have to decide whether you want perfection or you just want a beautiful gem, because perfection doesn't necessarily get you a more beautiful gem. It's just when you look close, you can see that, wow, this guy spent a lot of time getting all the meats right. You know, and that's the case of this stone. Just a beautifully cut gem. Mike did a great job on it. And it's beautiful material that comes from Malawi. You know, this particular stone he got a 2 carat 20 out of it. The appraised price on this particular gem is $968. Our online price $499. With the 15 off, it's $424 or $193 a carat. You know, so if you're looking for perfection and a slightly greenish blue gem, this is the stone for you.
Or how do you feel about like cutting and like the patience it takes, and I don't know.
I like it. I mean, I wish I had more time to just focus on that, but you know, going between the shop where we're manufacturing the jewelry and trying to then find time to cut, and then I'm doing minerals on the side. I would like to focus more on it, but I do enjoy it. Yeah, no, it's very satisfying when you start with a piece of rough and then you get this finished gem. I wanted to cut more. I've got an aqua that I just started. I wanted to get it on the show, but I didn't have the time. So finding more time would be great. And then, you know, and soon, I'm sure, you know, that's what I'm trying to gear, you know, my time towards is now cutting. So.
And you'll get quicker, because let's see, at $4.99, maybe you made $50 an hour.
Yeah, it did take me a while, but yeah, I'm still new, and you know, I don't want to screw up. I don't want to, you know, come over to you, Steve, and be like, oh, I just cut off about 4 carats accidentally, you know. So I just want to make sure it's right, and
Well, you have potential for sure.
Well, I appreciate
speeding up will come.
Yes. Yeah. Once I get to know the machine a little bit better, I have a better grasp at what's going on with the machine and what's happening as I'm grinding and what to look for. Those were all things that I didn't quite comprehend at first, but now I'm starting to understand what the machine is doing and what I can do to fix certain things. So,
well, it's a world-class gem for sure.
Thanks.
So
eventually we're going to be doing videos of you guys just cutting.
I have a giant aquamarine in the back that I'm going to try and cut when we get back from Tucson.
You think you're ready for that one, huh?
I don't know.
I mean, it is giant. Yeah, it's he had it as a specimen. I think I talked him into, maybe you should cut that one. Let's see, it's a $8,000 specimen, but it's a $20,000 cut stone. Because what did we figure it might cut? 100 carat? Yeah, it's
something around there.
It's a huge rock. You know, it was meant to be a cut stone, not a mineral specimen, in my eyes, anyway. All right, up next.
Show that on the hand.
I didn't. Sorry, shortchange you there. Did I show it in the camera? I was just talking too much.
Where's the aquamarine from? How are you going to cut?
I want to say it's Mozambique.
No, I think that's Brazil.
You think? I don't know.
I don't either. But it's just reminiscence of the crystals from Brazil. Okay. Yeah. But it's a really nice color in the zircon and just great brilliance.
Zircon's hard enough for a ring or.
Oh, yeah, you bet. And just so brilliant. All right, and the next one, it's a little guy, but wow. I mean, it is so dramatically clean. This is a VS1 clarity, and in rubies, you rarely see that. Slightly violetish red, but just a beautiful, beautiful stone. Make it a great engagement ring, and if we don't sell it, that's exactly what we'll make out of it. I don't know what we talked about. I think we got a couple of emerald cuts we may put on the side of this. Yeah, not many rubies, because rubies usually included, and they don't photograph well because of it. Just hard to photograph them, and this is clean enough. It's just photographs well, and so it's. You're just not going to see anything in this stone. Small but mighty.
Jesus.
Like that one, Jeffrey?
Yeah, that's my birthstone too.
Oh,
Yeah, it's true.
And the wife's birthstone.
You could trade that Spessor type.
Who else's birthstone is this, chat? I know that there's got to be another July baby out there.
It's my hairstylist's birthstone too, she told me. If she's watching. I don't know.
Oh, cool.
A lot of July babies out there.
So this ruby, appraised price of $36.50, our online price $29.90. With the 15 off, it's $25.41. Comes from Mozambique, which Mozambique is producing most of the fine goods in the market these days. Burma, very, very little production coming out of Burma. So hopefully after Tucson, we'll have some bigger carat-sized stones. It's on my list. I love ruby, and like they said, we just don't have it on the shows very often. But as soon as you put some inclusions in them, they all you see is the inclusions. So it takes good high clarity for it to work for us online.
Did they ever heat ruby?
Yeah, ruby's heated commonly. This is heated. And it's usually to alter the color. Because, material like used to come out of Mongshu in Burma, or it used to be have a strong blue component, and you'd heat it to drive that blue component off.
You just show that on the hand.
Yeah, I did. All right, next stone is another of the amethysts that are coming out of Bahia, Brazil. This material, just really, really great color. It's some of the best color coming from any source right now. The material from Rwanda, was what was considered to be some of the finest that ever came out of the ground. But currently, this material is very, very close to that quality. Just has that mix of blue and purple, that just a soft, gentle color that just makes you feel warm when you look at it. Was this one? Maybe.
I believe so. That's what it says.
Yeah. I mean, just look at the color's beautiful. I mean, there's not much better than the color that's in this stone. This one weighs 23.83 carat, cut by Linda Thierry in our shop.
Linda also cuts some amazing gems. She's been cutting for how long now? Quite a while.
Yeah, she started maybe 25 years ago.
Yeah.
So she does a great job, and hopefully we'll see her back here shortly. She's been MIA for a couple of weeks, but we'll get her back. I've got some purple garnets just waiting for her, and more amethyst. She does a real good job on the amethyst, which amethyst can be a tough stone to polish, but she's kind of got the knack. So this is a nice square. It has it's all step cut.
She also bakes some amazing cookies.
Yes, she does.
Thank you, Linda, if you're watching. Cookies that you got me were delicious. She should just cut stones and
Bake
make
cookies. So the appraised value on this stone is $1,070. Our online price doesn't sound right. Appraised value was $2,290. That's better. $1,070 is our price online. With the 15% off, it's $909 or $38 a carat. You know, just a beautiful gem for very inexpensive price. Could be a ring, but maybe it's a little big. Great pendant. So this is some material from Rwanda. I don't know. We can even see the color. Can't really. Yep. Yeah, it's not going to show it accurately. But real similar color to what that Bahia material is. Why can't I find it? There we go. You know, what makes this and the Bahia material special is the strong pleochrism, you know, the differences in the color in the crystal. You get that strong blue with the violet, and that's what makes amethyst special. It's much like Tanzanite, you know, except more on the purple side, and has the same kind of pleochroic colors, just different, you know, that same soft, in this case, much more violet.
Unfortunately, the Rwanda, we haven't seen much of that material in the last
Rwanda
years.
Yeah, Rwanda has been gone for how long? More than 6-7 years. Yeah, long time. You know, but Bahia stepped in and produced a large quantity. We bought a large quantity, as we've talked about. We've got a couple kilos to cut. So we had a sale, looks like.
Yep, Salvador picked up this amethyst.
Oh, cool. You'll love it. It's really, really beautiful color. Yeah, you won't find anybody having a better color amethyst than what this one looks like.
Cool.
Yeah, and Salvador, again, just like we told the gentleman earlier, if it's something you would like us to design some jewelry for you, just email us, ask us to hold it for you, and we can have Alice, contact you about it. Otherwise, we can ship it out to you, and you can do what you want. In the midst of that, Steve, got a few questions, if you can answer.
Thanks,
Colleen wanted to know what you thought of the Four Peaks amethyst. I believe that's in Arizona.
Never cut one. Can't say I've ever seen one. I'm sure the color is very good, but I doubt it's this kind of quality. I could be wrong. And when we're in Tucson, we'll have to take a look, because, I've known about Four Peaks forever. And there's also amethyst that comes from northern Wisconsin, northern Michigan. Where is it, Wisconsin? I think it's in Wisconsin, which is Thunder Bay. And I couldn't tell you. It's up there somewhere. You know, Upper Michigan comes into Wisconsin there, and Canada also meets there. Thunder Bay, not sure which country or which state it's in. You know, it's either Wisconsin or Canada. Could be Canada. Come on, somebody out there knows.
Thunder Bay is part of the Ontario, Canada.
Okay, thank you. Very close to Wisconsin. I'll bet it's on the border.
Probably.
But
another question, I'm not going to try to pronounce this, but they were asking about the ruby earlier. What kind of lap do you use to polish ruby?
Diamond on bat lap would do it. Some people use ceramic. I've tried ceramic. I've never really perfected the use of ceramic. But I would be using a bat lap with diamond powder.
Okay.
Do a fine job. Just like sapphires. I mean, it's the same as a sapphire. So you use the same things to polish sapphire as you would a ruby. I'm trying to think if I've ever cut ruby. That's a good question. You know, ruby rough is tough to come up with, and I doubt I've ever cut a ruby.
Question about, do you have any experience with handpiece machines like the Raytech Shaw?
I have never used one. You know, I know a lot of people do use them. You know, if you check out Justin Prim, you know, he'll have videos on using the handpiece machines, because I know he's used many of them. So take a look on his website, and you'll get some information about it. I personally never have. I started on a mass machine, and you know, you tend to stay with what you're used to. Looks interesting. It's a different way of cutting, and you can really much easier look at your stone when you're polishing it, and get a better view of it, because you pick the handpiece up and it's right there, and you can manipulate both your loop and the handpiece, so it's easier to look at the stone than being stuck with a mast in one position. So it has its place, and you know, many diamond cutters use them, and so it's I'm sure it's a quality. Well, some of them are quality machines.
And back to that ruby again. Tim wanted to know, I don't know if you showed it, but Tim wants to know if you can show the ruby on the hand. I'm not sure if you did or not.
Yep.
He did?
That's what I asked. He said,
Yeah, it was quick.
Oh, it was quick? Okay. That was a question from before. I missed.
I guess I
Tim's
looked
question.
at the time and I thought, better pick this up a little bit. So it's got a good length to it. It's, what is the length on this?
About 6.8 millimeters long.
Yeah, 7 millimeters, almost 7 millimeters, which is typical size for a ring. You know, it's just thinner. But, you know, if we ever get around to making it up, I know it's going to make a beautiful piece. And like I said, we have 2 emerald cut diamonds that we talked about putting next to it. So in a few weeks, it is something that we would produce, you know, and I know it'll be a great looking piece.
Anything else for us, Jeffrey?
Hopefully that's it. If I missed any questions, just post them in the chat, everybody.
All right, what's up next there, Mike?
Jeffrey.
Oh, looks like a set.
We
Oh,
got
more
some more
hidden
hidden
gems.
gems.
All right, it's
Next
the opal
4.
group.
All right.
Some cool opals in here.
All right,
And
so
an
everybody,
ammonite. Ammonite. Ammonite.
you're going to have to listen to me again. So with the hidden gems, these are gems that weren't on the collection page on MoreGems.com that had all the stones for tonight. So these aren't there yet. No one had a chance to pick them up beforehand. I'm going to upload them here in 30 seconds. But these gems will be 4 new gems. It'll say hidden gem next to them. They're all opals, I believe, that we'll be loading up. And these, you're going to be able to take 25% off the listed price. So all you got to do, if you like one of them, add it to your carts. In checkout, just add the coupon code RARE25, and that's going to give you an additional 25% off that price. And then you can choose to use credit card, PayPal, or financing through a firm or bread.
And this is a pretty cool faceted one. This one I'll have faceted, and again, you can see all that orange that the back facets produce. They're not play of color, that's just reflected body color. So that's a nice stone. That one weighs 6.58, regular price $820 less the 25%. Let's take that to $820. Or it's a 656. So it's $615, $94 a carat for that faceted gem. Next one, the Amethyst.
Steve, just real quick, I saw a question come through about lapidary books. Are you still recommending the Meat Point Faceting by Glenn and Martha Vargas? Is that?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's hard to get, and you'll pay a premium for it right now because I think it's out of production, and so not an easy thing to find. But if you can find it, definitely grab them. It's just a really good book on facet designs. But there's so many available now online that you can get also. So, and that's the Amethyst. Really dramatic colors, blues and greens. There's a little red in towards the ends. Nice Amethyst. And that Amethyst, $652 will be the final price on that. And this is this is what I would call an Ethiopian black. It stopped, I think, Mike. Heck. Lost it. So that there we go. Just a really dark body color. The Ethiopian blacks are actually more brown. There are a few that are totally black. But anything with a dark body color in Australia would be called black. So I call these Ethiopian blacks because they're not really black, they're brown. But the colors are dramatic, just strong reds at the tip of this and greens, and there'll be some blue in there. And it's a beautiful opal that this one weighs 11.83 carat, and it's $80 a carat. And the last one, if I can find it. This one weighs 20.32 carats. Another one with just beautiful colors. We'll see our opal supplier in Tucson as soon as he comes in from Ethiopia, and we'll be buying more, and that's the only reason I really took 25% off on these. This particular one is $77 a carat, weighs 20.32 carats, but the colors, just incredible. And this one has every color of the rainbow, a lot of blues and purples and indigo, violet, pretty much everything. Coupon code is RARE25.
Correct.
So
if everybody that was on that page before, you can just refresh it, and all those stones, I believe it's the third row, will show all of those hidden gems. Couple questions, Steve.
Uh-huh.
Bridget wants to know, is tourmaline hard enough for everyday wear on a ring?
Yes. Yeah, we've had pretty good success with tourmaline. It's a good toughness and relatively hard. It's over a 7 hardness, which is kind of the break of what people typically say is a ring stone. So a little bit harder than most of the everyday material, which is quartz that you run into in nature.
Sean wants to know, I don't believe we ever do, but do we ever buy the gemstone beads in Tucson?
Oh, we have. Yeah. I mean, I have one piece set with opal beads and.
Oh yes, okay.
Yeah. We bought a few, but beads are not typically my thing.
All right.
Yeah. It's been a few years other than the opals.
I think you bought some like volcanic rock beads once.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, they were kind of
some
cool,
black, just dark black material that I thought would look good with pendants and necklaces. Which I don't. Do we ever make them up?
Yeah, you said it with Chris designed a opal spider pendant, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
And it the spider hung off of that. The body of it.
Yeah.
Was opal.
Yeah. Don't typically, but we'll take a look this year, and if there's anything unique and high quality. Usually beads are just low quality material. So we had a sale.
Yes. It was Bridget who was asking about the tourmaline. She picked up the antique cushion cut 1.89 carat hidden gem.
Oh, cool.
That's a cool color.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
Cool.
a pretty
Thank
stone.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful stone.
Yeah. And I had that one since last year and just kind of was going through things and ran across that. And I thought, wow, totally forgot about that stone. Just a beautiful color. And that's another color that you just don't see in the market these days. I don't know if it was just a short-term production or what the deal with it is, but just don't see much in that color. So you'll love that color.
And Bridget, you as well, if you want us to ship you the stone, we can do that. Otherwise, if you'd like to discuss doing any kind of design with it, we can hold on to it for you, and Alice can reach out to you tomorrow and you guys could discuss something. Just let us know.
Okay, next stone there, Mike. Should be on Sapphire. All right. This is I was really happy with how this came out. It's a really, again, a high clarity stone, and the color is just beautiful. Let's get it off the black. This particular color will change in different lights. When you go to daylight, the blue will be much more dramatic. And in most other lights, it'll be more to the green. You always see that little bit of mix of blue and green, but daylight produces a much stronger blue coloration. Almost a color changer, but not quite. This is another hexagonal, step pavilion. There you can see kind of the zoning of the color, which is typical in sapphire.
Just to pop in here, it looks like James Welch did a little bit of research for us on the Vargas faceting book. He said he found it on eBay for about $76 plus shipping.
Yeah. And there are several
Thanks, James.
Vargas books. I have 4, I think. So, yeah, and that I've seen them for more, so that actually I think was a pretty good price because it's probably close to what it sold for new. And mine are 30 years old, maybe 40 years old.
Yeah, I use them, the facet design. Steve's given me the book. I just take a copy of it with the printer, and then, I have it at my bench or my desk, and that way if it gets wet or anything, I don't got to worry about, messing that up.
Yeah, they were particularly great in their time because they were the first at producing designs like that. now you can find so many designs available online. And one place is from the Gemology Project, which is part of Gemology Online. You can look there, you'll see quite a few designs. And the other is, what's his name? No. It's, well, with any luck, I'll think of it because he's got a lot of designs out there, and he's still around, but he's probably in his 90s now. I have the Long and Steel, which Long is who you'll find online. I'm not sure exactly who the website is, but just some great designs in there.
Questions? Let's see. James did find the book you were talking about. Looks like it's like $76.
I just brought that up.
Oh, you did? Sorry, I went away to get everybody some water. Okay, hopefully you did go through these other ones. I leave for 2 minutes. Is garnet a good beginner stone to cut?
Yes, because it's easy to polish. There's not much easier polishing than a garnet. Tourmaline would be another one. So garnet, definitely. Just watch out for stones that are too dark. The general rule of thumb is you put it on a white piece of paper, light it from above, and if you can see the color, it'll probably cut a stone that's not too dark. If it looks black on a white piece of paper lit from above, it's going to cut too dark. It was my first big mistake in buying rough. I held that stone up to the light and whoa, what color? I cut a black stone, and I was disappointed because I spent $500-600 on it, and it was worthless, because too dark is the worst thing you could have in a cut gem. So,
did you guys discuss about when you retire the book that you're gonna create? For
the book we're gonna create?
Yep. The fasting book.
No, we're creating our book online. All the videos we do are as close as I'm going to get to a book. Don't get any money for them, but hey, it's hopefully helps a lot of people. So this stone came from Rock Creek. The big advantage of Rock Creek is typically you get better colors than other sources in Montana because they heat well. Heating is what produced this color from typically a more green stone. So heat is a big benefit in Montana for sure, because it's hard to get these colors out of the other sources in Montana because most of those don't heat. The stuff from Eldorado Bar typically doesn't heat because there's very little silk in it, and silk is what you need for the stone to heat because it dissipates, and that silk is typically titanium, which is a coloring agent for sapphire that provides blue color. So it's a really great gem. Carat 63, $24.95 is our price online, and the 15% off brings this stone to $21.20 or $1,300 a carat. Great engagement ring. Really very popular right now as engagements. And extremely durable. Again, toughness greater than diamond. Hardness next to diamond as far as colored stones goes.
I didn't want to know if that mine was still going.
Rock Creek, which is Potentate Mining. Yeah, it's still going. I just bought this material Denver last year, or was it Tucson?
It was Tucson last year, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're producing. And
We
we've
went
got
there.
videos of our trip to the mines and our 5-hour tour of the mines, which was fantastic. It was really in-depth tour, and we got to see everything. And it was a great trip, and ended up being a great source for us. I have quite a bit more material to cut. Hopefully I'll get to more of that here in the next couple of months. Unless I buy a lot more stuff in Tucson again and get behind in my cutting. So the next stone is a red spinel. Now, red spinel is the most valued of the spinels, for its looking like ruby, and this looks like ruby. Many rubies are this slightly orangey red color, which is commonly available. I say commonly, not really, but ruby's pretty rare stone. But red spinel, again, has become very, very valuable, as all the spinels are highly valued. Matter of fact, the cobalt spinel may be one of the highest priced gems there is. We saw a cobalt spinel in Tucson that I thought, well, if it's $1,500, I'd buy it. What was it? $63,000?
It was so crazy.
Some really crazy price. Carat and a half and $60,000. So, but cobalt spinel is really highly valued, more than the reds. Reds would be the next in value. So this particular stone weighs a carat 55. The normal price of $46.50, $33.90 is our online price. And with the 15% off, this particular stone is $28.81 or $1,859 a carat. The old hand. Yeah, difficult stone to photograph because it's redder than I'm showing here. And even the picture of it is not completely accurate. Slight tinge of orange, but really a mostly red stone. All right, next up, here's an unusual Tanzanite. This is from our trip to Tanzania. And this one weighs 11.61 carats. It's a natural color. Unheated, kind of greenish blue, varies in all lights. Yeah, this is one that it kind of shows more green down the center, a little blue on the ends. Hard to get it lit right here. There's definitely a better view of the stone. You get that greenish down the center, the blues on the ends. This would be considered a fancy Tanzanite. all step cut. Appraised value of $13,930. Our online price $78.40. And with the 15% off, it's $6,664 or $574 a carat. It really is a beautiful stone for the money. Yeah,
Always
this
been.
would be Mermaid.
Yeah.
You know, what they would consider this, I guess. The blue and the green is typically what's considered mermaid color. Yeah, but on the hand. Really nice stone that I suppose if I heated it, I'd get that blue, mostly blue color, like the one stone we heated probably. But it'll never be heated. It's just a beautiful gem as it is. And a color, the mermaid, very high demand right now. You know, when mermaid colors originally came out, there was no demand for them. This goes back 20 years maybe. And over the years, it's become one of the most popular colors. You know, there was a big supply at the beginning, and then it just dwindled to next to nothing. So you see very, very few stones with this coloration. And particularly this kind of size, you know, unusual to get a big gem like this. Next stone is an opal, another Ethiopian opal. This has, almost that snakeskin pattern that used to typify synthetics. You could identify synthetics by what you see here is a snakeskin pattern. You know, if you look at this from the side, you probably, it doesn't work well, but in the synthetic, you get columns out of the side of it. This one doesn't, but it has that snakeskin pattern. You know, and really dramatic colors in this. They sometimes call this honeycomb also, because the colors just come out of those cone patterns. They form right with that pattern you see. And the colors are always very, very intense in this type of material. You know, if we pull these lights back further, you get much more cellular look to this like you do in the pictures and videos we've got of it. Both front and back, the colors are everywhere. Kind of a bigger pattern on the back, almost like what would be harlequin in Australian opal. If you're Australian, don't give me shit about that, but but that, yeah, those big patches of color like that. Yeah.
So if you set that, do you think you're trying to keep it open in the back?
Well, it would be nice if you did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because the color, which side's better? That's a good question. Yeah, I don't know if this will be worth cabbing both sides or just leave it like this. And like you say, keep the back open and, have it so you could wear it either way, because it's kind of a different opal on this side. Again, pretty much all the different colors of the rainbow. And just dramatic as can be. So the appraised price on this, $1,980. $1,320 is our price online. And with the 15% off, it is $1,122 or $85 a carat. Which compared to Australian opal is about a third, a fourth the price maybe. And we had a sale.
Yes. Martha picked up that beautiful Mermaid Tanzanite.
Oh, cool. You'll love it. Yeah. The camera here wasn't showing it to its ultimate, but it's pretty much what you saw online, and just a beautiful, beautiful gem. And I've never owned another like it, ever. Never seen one like it. It is unique in the world for sure.
Awesome. Thank you, Martha.
Thank you, Martha. And thanks, everybody, for hanging on. This is a
Long show.
bit of a long show. We knew it would be. When you have 43 stones or whatever we had.
And science experiments.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then all these opals Steve loves to stare at. And I think we need to do a live show. Maybe that's what we should do on some TikTok. Steve just sitting there looking at opals the whole time. Just going on about it. And
do one of those.
Maybe we could get... No, probably not.
What's
going to say our supplier? We could sit down while we're buying and show stones.
It takes
maybe
long
he'd
enough
let
going
us if
through
he
them.
stayed out of it. Maybe he'd let us do that.
Oh my gosh.
It would be hard to photograph though too.
Yeah, a million opals. And
What-
takes us
Because
hours
I
to
have
do.
so many opals, I don't need any more opals. But I love these opals because they're just a bargain. When you compare to all the opals in the world, these are just so inexpensive and so dramatic that it's hard for me not to buy them. I buy everything I see that looks great, and and we're lucky enough to have one of the best suppliers in the world, and we get first choice of just some beautiful, beautiful gems, and so I'll continue to buy as much as I can, and buy everything that's the kind of quality that we like.
And Keith did mention he likes the videos watching you cut. So Keith, I am trying to convince them to just do a live video of them cutting. So
Which we'll do that. We figure out how to do that.
yeah, we just got to make it so it's
Easy.
and it doesn't. And you said the sound of. I thought it would be relaxing, but you guys said it's not the most relaxing sound.
Maybe once he gets like halfway through, like if he started polishing, it'd be okay. Or
Yeah, like a table, and
get past
get that
the
screeching sound.
Well,
But they can turn the sound down too. They don't have to listen to the sound. But
We get one of those. What's the mics that make it like the really close sounds, like of a relaxing voice? Or you see them with the cats, like eating corn.
cats eating corn.
Where it's like really close up and you just hear nom 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 nom, but it's really like you know what I'm talking about, Michael.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I know you're a
Do
tech.
it
You're-
again.
you're a
what
cat
do the
man,
cats
so-
do? One more time.
I'll send you the meme, okay? But it's that close up sound. Like people do it sometimes. They have really good voices, and it's very close up and it's very relaxing.
ASMR.
Yeah, something like yes. I think we talked about that before. We'll see.
okay, let's
Hey,
get back
we'll
to
give
the
it a
show
try.
here. Get off the cats.
Steve wants to give it. You don't want to talk about the diamond cat that Jeffrey was
Oh,
all riled
God.
up about?
Who cut the diamond cat?
But there's diamond cat cut. I know some.
It
watchers
just
have
looks
seen
like a cat. It's a cat head or what?
It's a cat head with the ears and.
Yeah,
Okay.
Valerie mentioned that before she left. She was talking about it, and then right when Jeffrey got here, he started talking about it. I think they're both cat people. So
And we had cats.
Yeah.
It's a cat head. And I think Steve could do it.
Yeah. No, that's not me.
That's my request for me, Steve. I want that for Christmas next year.
Dolan Hargrave could do it, but not me. All right. Up next is a green tourmaline, another stone that came out of the hidden vault. I don't know how it showed up suddenly, because it's really a pretty remarkable gem. You know, this pretty almost like two-tone, because one direction is greenish yellow and the other direction is blue-green, which is common in the crystals. You know, the different axes on tourmalines typically can be dramatically different. And blue one direction, green the other is relatively common in crystals, but rarely do you see them this kind of size, this kind of width, because tourmaline crystals that are these green colors are typically long pencil-like crystals. But this is a really nicely proportioned tourmaline, and really two totally different colors from one side to one end. You know, this particular stone weighs 5.56 carats. Our online price, the normal price, is $31.70, and $13.35 is our online price with the 15% off. I'm lost. Oh, that's right. This was the last stone, but it's moved up. Okay. This stone comes from Congo. The online price of $13.35 with the 15% off, it's $1,134. So $204 a carat. And when you look at the pricing guides, you know, that's why you see a real dramatic difference here, because green tourmaline in the pricing guides has just gone up so much. That's with a wide variety of our appraised price to our regular price. You see here just another stone that's gone up fairly significantly. This stone, $1,134. Just beautifully cut, Portuguese style pavilion. So nice size stone, work as pendant or ring. It's another color. It's uncommon to see this particular look. You know, we had two of these stones when we sold 6 months ago or so. You know, and this one, again, it was just, you know, I think I put it away because it had a chip on it I had to repair. So it got put away and kind of misplaced. Next stone is another Spinel. Now this Spinel comes from Mahenge. Again, a stone I've had for a while, because Mahenge is really what caused the craze in the price increases in Spinel. This intensity of color, because it's just such a saturated pink and just a shocking pink, you know. So Mahenge is what has increased the price so dramatically. And again, this is a stone that there's a dramatic difference between our appraised price and our online price, just because the amount of time I've owned this stone, the prices have gone up so much. You know, to look at 3 and 4 carat stones like this, you know, we're looking at $4,000 a carat currently, if you can find them. You know, so just a very, very difficult stone to get. Like all things from Mahenge, there's just not much production coming. Mahenge is on the east coast of Tanzania that's producing the garnets and this particular stone. This was found first, and then the garnets found later.
Somebody was asking earlier about showing the fluorescence. I don't know. I think it was in a Spinel, but I just brought you over the.
Oh, the light.
Yeah, it
Yeah, it doesn't take much. Keep that out of my eyes. So really dramatic fluorescence. If we can't see it there, that won't show it. But this you'll see both in ruby and spinel will produce this kind of extreme fluorescence. So that stone, $890 a carat, $1,211 a total on that stone. Carat 36. Again, just really dramatic color. Yeah, it needs something because it's just not lighting these stones quite correctly. I don't know it's back or up, but we were kind of rushed setting up today because it looked like the show wasn't going to happen because of Shopify issues.
Yeah, throughout the show tonight, I've noticed a few times. Some of you may have noticed when you go to the website, it's kind of slow. So I think there is something still going on, but thankfully that it's not as bad as it was earlier.
So, Spinel from Mahenge. Next up, we were talking about blue in Tanzanite. This is blue, blue, blue. I don't know if you can get a whole lot bluer than this one. Just the intensity of the blue. It's 20% violet, 80% blue. Looks a little more violet on this setting, which this setting on the camera is set for when we take pictures of Tanzanite. If they've got violet in it, we use this setting. But this is just a deep, deep sapphire blue. This would be like the finest of cashmere sapphire. So cashmere sapphire is deep blue with a little touch of violet. The picture shown on the website is more accurate for the color of this stone. But just a beautiful cut, just great brilliance. You can see the entire stone is just full of life. Weighs 10.50 carats. I have a rating of 980 out of 1,000 on this stone. Again, it's 80% blue, 20% violet. Picture it's looking 60% violet and 40% blue, but it's much more blue than you're seeing. Really beautiful gem.
It's like a keystone.
Keystone. Yep. Is that how Keystone goes, or it goes? Keystone works this way. Yes, there is. I think I have a cloth.
Also, while Steve's looking at that, for all the new watchers here and everybody that's stayed on, thank you. If you like any of these stones from the show, just go to MoreGems.com. There's a link there, and click on the green banner on the website, and you can find all of the gemstones there. And these, you just got to use Cheers as the coupon code for 15% off those prices. And we accept credit card, PayPal, and financing through Affirm and Bread. And for everybody that's been watching, if you love the show, if you could, right below the video, click that little thumbs up. I think we're at 107, which is awesome. Love to hit 100 and maybe 25.
200.
200, yes. And if you have questions, if you're logged into YouTube or Google, you should see a chat box. If you're on desktop, on the right side of the video, or if you're on your phone, right below it. If you got questions for us about anything, Steve's here to answer them. If you want to see a stone again or on a hand, any other type of questions, just post them there, and we'll be moderating it so we can pass it on to Steve.
So the next one is a huge garnet. This one is, maybe we call it purple garnet. Yeah, I don't know what exactly makes purple garnet, but this definitely has purple in it. And just, at over 25 carat, you typically don't see garnets that kind of size. I have them maybe up close to 20 carats, but this color in this kind of size is almost non-existent. Purple garnet is just a rhodolite garnet with more purple in it, is what they're calling purple garnets. Comes from Mozambique, the stone. This I cut, and this is kind of a Berrien type of style cutting.
Now, is this your own design?
Yeah, this was cut as you go to fit the rough. The rough was pretty similar to this. Actually, I have pictures of it, but I didn't put them with the piece. I'll try and get some of those up on the website as I was cutting this stone. I did take some pictures and videos because it was a really labor-intensive stone. Plus, it was an expensive stone, and I really wanted to get it right.
So is this the largest garnet you've ever cut?
I had another 25 carat back in the 1990s. That was from Kangala, which produced a lot of rhodolite, and I remember that stone. But as far as anything bigger in a garnet, I don't think I've cut one. It's just they just get so dark in bigger sizes. It's hard to cut a really large garnet. Big stone, 25.37 carats, comes from Mozambique. Praise value of $12,500. 93.80 is our price online. With 15 off, it's $7,973 or $314 a carat.
Question from on our chats from Aaron and Holly. Do you guys ever get black opals?
Other than the Australian blacks, yeah. Last year I had one that was truly a black from Ethiopia. So we'll see if there's more of that. They just discovered this material. That's why right now I have quite a few darker, what we might call semi-blacks, or, but typically the Ethiopian is more brown. I did get one beautiful black opal that was from Ethiopia last year, but typically you don't see it. And I don't deal in Australian, where most of the black opals come from. And the price of black opals from Australia is a little bit prohibitive. When you start talking fine black opals being $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 a carat, there are, of course, much less expensive ones, but the best of them are really expensive stones. So, all righty. Next up,
the final group of hidden gems, Jeffrey.
Final group
Anybody?
of the hidden gems. All right.
well, let's see if I can find them.
All of you out there, refresh that page and
Give me a sec first. I got to have it.
just keep refreshing. See how fast Jeffrey is.
Yeah, so everybody that's stayed on, you already know my talking points here. But for the new people, so if you went to MoreGems.com, or if you go there now and hit that green bar, that's going to take you to all the stones we have on the show. There's going to be regular stones there that are 15% off with coupon code CHEERS. And then anything listed as hidden gem is 25% off with coupon code RARE25. Right now, I'm going to add 4 more stones to that page. It'll just take me a minute. And like Mike said, you can just refresh that page and eventually they'll show up in the 4th row. All new stones. No one's seen them yet. 25% off with coupon code RARE25.
So this first one is a 7 carat 12 round Tanzanite. This one rates at a 963, which is amongst the highest we have. The red flash in this one is dramatic.
Jeffrey.
I mean, you can see it there, and in the right light, it's even much more noticeable. Again, we don't talk about red flash much because you don't see it often, and if you talk it up too much, everybody, that's all they want, and it's just rare to see in a fine gem. But this is really a great, great stone, weighs 7.12 carat. The 712. So the price online is $3,500. 712 is $4,670. And with the 25 off, ends up at $3,502 or $492 a carat. And a fantastic stone for the money. Just really well cut. Nice Portuguese pavilion with a typical round, brilliant crown, but the color, and you can see just how much red flash is in that, and the depth of color in person is greater than this. This is showing a little bit light, but great stone, particularly for 25 off. What else is in here? Blue Zircon. This one wasn't actually meant to be in this group, but Michael got it into this group, and
you're welcome.
It ends up being a very inexpensive blue Zircon for a 4-carat blue zircon, our online price is $610. You take 25 off of that, and it's down to $457 or $104 a carat. I don't know if I can. Just really deep color. Just a very, very nice zircon. This one comes from Cambodia. And a big Tsavorite. I can show this in the camera, but it's not going to show the green color at all. Setup for this camera does not show the green. The green that's pictured is close, but it is a beautiful, beautiful green color. And a big stone for Tsavorite, you start getting over 3 carats and the rarity just jumps dramatically. Praise value of this stone is $15,820. Our online is $11,970. And with the 25% off, this stone is $89.77 or $2,625 a carat. And the final gem is a step square. Again, a high rated stone of $960.
A nice cut on that round and this one here. Are these?
Yeah, beautiful cut. Yeah, these were cut in Kenya. They just do really, really good quality cutting. And I think these lights are just too close, Mike, that they're kind of blowing them out a little bit. Because it's a beautiful color on this stone. To get a 960 rating, everything is just near perfect. And that stone, our online price is $35.90. Tanzanite 554. It's $486 a carat with the 25 off.
Quick questions.
Uh-huh.
James wants to know, are USA tourmaline gemstones less desirable than tourmaline from other countries?
No, it's just hard to find great ones available. There's just so little production. There's nice goods from Maine, nice from California. There's just, you see so little of it on the market. Just production is not there. But they have great stones. Maine produces just really beautiful gems, and some of the finest bicolors have come out of Pala and in California.
And Gary says, I remember when garnets were not that expensive, but it seems that lately there is much more demand for most of the colors and much more expensive. Would you agree?
Absolutely. The demand is up dramatically. The quality of the colors available is so much greater than it was in the past. This material that came out of Mahenge is what changed the value of garnets. People started seeing that there were beautiful gems because Mahenge produced so much lighter colors that you started to see the brilliance that garnet was capable of. So that started the increase in prices, and then the demand grew because people were seeing there were increase in price, and it's just a snowball effect that ends up with garnets probably in the last 10 years have more than doubled. And the colors available. Stuff from Mahenge those colors were never available before. All right, next stone. This is really a great stone just because to get a carat stone with this kind of color is almost unheard of. This stone rates a 964, and I don't know I've ever had a carat stone that rated that high before. The quality of the cutting is there, just beautifully cut, high clarity, and just a great color. Size is what gives Tanzanite its depth of color, but this is a small stone with just super color.
We picked this one up in Africa too, didn't we?
Yeah, this is cut in Kenya.
I kind of remember this one because we just both saw the size.
Oh,
of it,
yeah,
and the
yeah.
color was just like, what?
It's like a 6-7 carat stone is usually what it takes to get this depth of color. Yeah. And it is, I don't know what the color, this is, so this is violet blue exceptional. A carat stone that's exceptional is exceptional for sure. So it, what's the percentages? So it's 65% violet. No, that's not right. No, it's 35% violet and 65% blue. So really a nice combination, particularly for those that like them a little more blue. Getting this depth of color, again, is just unusual. Still a decent size for a ring. That's a stone somebody should own, because you'll not see a carat stone like that in a long time from now. Hopefully that's not true, but my experience is that's a rare bird.
This is Steve's special buy.
Got lucky there. And hopefully that supplier next trip to Kenya will produce things like that again. Next one up is another Spinel. These are all Vietnamese stones that, I really haven't, I don't know if I've had another Vietnamese Spinel. It's been a long time. Little different color here, kind of a salmony pink stone.
Jeffrey loves the salmon.
And yeah, the picture online is more accurate. But really pretty Spinel, just under a carat. And for Spinel, inexpensive stone. Again, from Vietnam, $1,330 is the appraised price. $895 is our online price. With 15 off, $760 ends up at $800 a carat. Just a nice antique cushion. All right, and here's the other stone Michael cut this last week, which this was did we do a square barian? Is that what?
I think so.
Yeah. So this is a square barian and much more intense color. More green than this particular setting on our camera is showing. A good deep color, just really nice brilliance, and a near perfect cut for the newbie in the cutting shop.
Now, the ones you cut tonight, or the ones you cut for this show, Michael, which one would you say was the toughest? I mean, anyone give you problems?
Well, this one, there was an occlusion in the crown that I had to try and cut out. So, I lost some material there, but they were both not too bad. And then, this one, it wasn't like the girdle's not totally straight. sides, so I had to put 2 facets on each. But
Yeah, I had to do some manipulation. The original design was square.
right. So they're both interesting to cut, learning experiences, and I'm learning something new each time I run into an issue. That's the main thing. It's you run into an occlusion, and then you got to figure it out from there.
Yeah. Nice job, Michael. So this one weighs 1.92 carats. It comes from Malawi. Price of $844, $528 is price online. The 15 off, it's $449, $233 a carat. So we have a sale.
Yes. Mark purchased the hidden gem, the pear-shaped brilliant cut blue zircon.
Oh, cool.
Thank you, Mark.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, you'll find it was a
Thanks,
bargain
Mark.
for sure.
Yeah.
Sorry, Steve.
Yeah, it's okay. Hopefully Tucson, I'm not sure if our supplier from Cambodia will be there or not, but hopefully he'll show up and we'll be able to buy more blue zircon.
Yeah.
So, because I love blue zircon. I mean, it's one of our better sellers, and it's just the intensity of color and the brilliance you get out of them makes it really a very desirable gem. And, we've found it highly saleable. So hopefully we'll get more, because I'm definitely running pretty low on zircons. I know we sold a zircon ring we just put together today, blue zircon.
Yeah,
So,
that was nice. That was
it was
beauty.
good piece.
This pear shape is like totally brilliant throughout too, and really nice color.
It'll make a great ring or pendant either way.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Mark, just like before, we can ship it out to you, tomorrow, or, email us, and we can, Alice can reach out and discuss doing a custom design for you.
All right. Next stone.
Bless you, Stephen.
All right.
Feel better?
Feel better. Yeah. So next stone, this is unusual tanzanite because it's what I call ultraviolet. It is just a dramatically violet stone. It's 80% violet, 20% blue. Typically we only see that percentages in more blue stones. But this one, really a unique look. Just that such strong violet with the highlights of blue makes this a stone. You don't see very many like this. It's just a really different look for tanzanite. No matter what light you go in, this stone is just more violet. Typically, even the stronger violets, you take them out in sunlight and they show a fairly significant amount of blue. This one will not really get more blue than this in any light you go to. I got a sale there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Mike's just cutting into your speech here. Yes. Richard picked up really that amazing blue 10.50 carat tanzanite.
Oh, really?
That's a cool.
Wait till you see the color in person. I mean, it's unbelievable. Another stone that I can't say I've seen a stone that looks just like that color. There's just something about it that, it's just, you'll see. Yeah, you'll be pleased. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thanks so much.
Richard.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Richard.
So again, this gem, ultraviolet, You know, if you like violet with that little touch of blue, you know, this is a stone that's unique to the Tanzanite market. You know, almost, I don't know if we'd call this a fancy, probably not, but, you know, it's a very low percentage of gems that produce this kind of color. You know, I have a lot of stones that are strongly to the violet, but still you see, like I say, you see more of that color change to the blue. You know, this maintains this color kind of in all lights. You know, just highly violet with that secondary blues. Pretty stone. This particular stone weighs 3.27 carats. 3,600 is the appraised value. 1,798 is our price online. The 15 off puts it at $1,528 or $467 a carat. This one I put a rating of 955 on it. So high clarity, VS1 clarity.
Catman Jeff.
Yeah, we got some little sisters watching us. It's a little past your bedtime, isn't it? I think.
Who's that, Dana?
There's another sibling out there that decided to watch us.
She got aqua for Christmas.
And something I brought up earlier, but we did have a question through the live chat to show it again. This is a ring that I got from my mother and father that you cut, Steve, which is spessartite garnet. So as I mentioned earlier, if you were watching, I'm not really a big jewelry guy, but this ring is awesome. So I don't know if you can see it here. So there are guys watching, I know. So if you're looking for like a really cool piece that's very masculine, comfortable to wear, you know, this kind of design would work with a lot of stone or different stones.
And I never told you that you should be thanking Michael for that.
Oh, Michael too?
No,
because we sold one of those rings and Michael liked it so much, I decided to make him one.
Oh, okay.
But to make him one, I guess I have to make you one too.
It is
and
a
it
great
helped
piece. I
Dana
love
too.
It. Yeah.
Helped Dana too, because Dana, I promised her aqua when we got back from the trip. And I made her an aqua. Then I gave you two guys rings. You know, you guys got the trip. She didn't get the trip, so she got an aqua. I made you guys rings, so I had to make her a pendant because otherwise it wouldn't be fair that, you know. So you all benefited from Michael.
Yeah.
You should be thanking Michael.
don't.
Thanks, Mike.
Chris did the design, and it was great. It totally worked for the one customer. She came in and she was buying that. I think for her husband, and I think I told her, I said, "Hey, if he doesn't like it, bring it back. I'd be happy to take that one back because it was so cool." And so are these, yeah. And Chris has a lot of other great gents ring designs. I like it in yellow gold, but he can do it in white gold if you're into white. But yeah, there's some cool stuff that you can do a simple design like those with some interesting structural things and just make a nice piece out of a gem.
Okay. Next stone is a chrome tourmaline. You know, I love chromes. Chromes are very difficult to get because they're a single source stone, only come from Tanzania. And I say that with they do exist elsewhere, but the only supply is really from Tanzania. And that's where this came from our last trip. And this is really a beautiful emerald cut. They don't typically come big because they're a problem with getting dark too. I've got one I'm going to work on at home, but my fear is it's going to cut dark. So I have to work with the cut, see if I can keep it from over darkening. It'll cut over a 2 carat, but that's their biggest issue is being too dark. But this is really a beautiful gem. Probably not going to show the right color in this light, but what's pictured on the website is more accurate for color. But it's a beautiful stone, clean gem, really well cut. Weighs 1.26 carat. Chromium is the coloring agent. I don't know if occasionally vanadium also comes into the color when things are colored with chrome. I'm not sure if that's the case with these or not. Anybody out there knows, throw in your 2 cents. But chrome is definitely in it. So when you use a chrome filter on them, they'll show up red, and it's one way of separating them from like Savorite garnet. So this particular stone, appraised value of $1,760, $855 is our price online. Which puts it, you compare this to a Savorite, and a carat 26 like this in Savorite would be about double the price, and an emerald would be 5 times the price. So chrome tourmaline is really the bargain of the fine green stones. So this stone with the 15% off is $727 or $576 a carat. So we have a sale there, Jeff.
Yes. Deborah just picked up the 3.27 carat Tanzanite cushion cut.
Oh, cool.
Thank you, Deborah.
Is that the...
That was the one we just talked about.
7.2. Oh, the ultraviolet.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's a cool color.
Yeah. You'll find it quite unique.
Yeah, thank you, Deborah.
Yeah. Back to the hand. Whoop. But really pleasing emerald cut. I like emerald cuts in this color. Just really shows them off really well. And the quality of the cutting on this just makes it a very lively stone. Yep. We're going to have to work on this camera. Well, not every time. Sometimes it's perfect.
I think it's the smaller stones that we have difficulties with, maybe.
I don't know.
Or you're just not finding the sweet spot.
All right. Did I go through all the info on that one? I think I did. So our next stone is another zircon. I was really happy with this parcel, and I actually have probably another 10 stones to cut from this parcel. Just really pleased with how the color heated on them. I really hadn't been up to par on the ways of heating this material. I've heated them before, but didn't quite go far enough. And they still ended up a little dark. Whereas if you heat them strong enough, you get this lighter, bright color that I find so pleasing. I think this one Linda cut again. Yeah, Linda cut this down. Just really nice, round, brilliant. This one weighs 3.44 carat. 1,032 is the appraised value. $790 is our price online. $672 with the 15% off using the coupon code. Cheers. So this ends up $195 a carat. Again, these are from Tanga in Tanzania. Good job, Linda.
Nice cut, Linda. Looks beautiful.
for if there's any guys out there that want to do the men's ring. That's close color to that.
Yeah, it'd be good. I should do one. I've got to cut one for myself. Good idea, Jeff.
There's a gentleman earlier that bought a stone that's going to be doing the same thing. So I took it from him. Yeah.
Nice. All right.
What else you got for us, Jeff? Any questions come in through the chat?
Yeah, so we're towards the end of the show here.
Kind of quiet out there.
It's getting late.
Yes.
But yeah.
We haven't gone this late before.
No.
Yeah.
If you've got questions, get them in now. There's a few questions I'm going to go through. Just post them in the chat, and we'll ask Steve. If you've enjoyed the show tonight, if you give us a thumbs up, all it does is click that little thumb below. That's going to help us out a lot. And if you like the video, just hit that subscribe button, and you'll be subscribed to our channel. And then if you hit that notification, anytime we do any kind of cool, new, interesting videos, we're going to be posting some live videos as well and upcoming shows. You'll be notified right away. It's really easy to do. But outside of that, again, if you've liked any of the stones on the show, use the coupon code CHEERS on MoreGems.com, and that'll take 15% off any of these prices. Plus, you get free shipping, and we can custom design anything with those stones. Everything listed as hidden gem is 25% off with coupon code RARE25. And again, you can pay with PayPal, you can pay credit card. We have financing through Affirm and Bread. And starting tomorrow, you can put it on a layaway as well. So lots of different options for you. The sale is going on for a few weeks, so you've got time to get your purchase in. So let's go through, again, post some questions if you have them. James wanted to know, question for Steve. Could you compare chrome tourmaline to Paraíba?
Well, not much comparison color-wise. I mean, they're just two different gems, blue-green to greenish-blue. In the case of Paraíba, price-wise, no comparison either, because 1 carat true Paraíba from Brazil, can be $20,000-$30,000 per carat. So no real comparison other than they're both tourmalines, but totally different otherwise. Yeah.
Okay.
Not sure what else I would compare, but no comparison.
And I'm just going to jump in here real quick, too. I was going to have you mention it earlier, but I figure I'd throw it in here now that if anybody's into Tanzanite crystals, we did just add about 50 new Tanzanite crystals from our recent trip to Tanzania. So those are on tanzanitejewelrydesigns.com. They're all pretty cool. Some of my favorite crystals.
Yeah,
so
some good values, too. Yeah, we did well with that parcel.
Yeah, and in general, we didn't. I don't think we had any on tonight, but Michael, mineralmike.com has a huge selection of specimens and crystals. So before, that's all before I got this ring, that's all I was really into. But if you're like a collector or something, you got some cool pieces, Mike.
Thanks. Yeah, I try to, keep adding to the collection, and this trip to Tucson, and hoping to get some really cool high-end pieces. So we'll see what I can find.
Yeah, and that's mineralmike.com. Lots of cool mineral specimens. If you're into that, even if you're not, you should be, because a lot of cool things. If you're not into gemstones for yourself, then that could be like a gift for yourself or a significant other. Gary wanted to know, he had noticed, where's that question? I'm finding you, Gary, here. Morganite, he wanted to know, is there a reason of why Morganite is still a relatively cheap stone?
Just the quantity that's available. There's a lot of material coming out of Mozambique. It's mostly, it's all irradiated to color. So partly the radiation factor, which irradiated stones are generally less expensive than natural or heat-treated stones, and the quantity of material that's out there that's coming out of Mozambique has kept the price relatively inexpensive. So,
okay. Also, let's thank Michael. Michael just picked up, not you, Michael, but thank you, Michael. The oval cabochon cut 13.20 karat opal.
oh, cool.
That was it. Is that the
Thanks,
one that
Michael.
had the backside to it? I can't remember.
Yes, I think so. Yeah. It was the 1320. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was cool
So-
on both sides.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That's
Something to consider when you go to set it, just what you do with it. Yeah. Take a look at it, and, it is, it's special throughout, and that's the thing about Ethiopian opal is, so many of the stones are just colored throughout. When you cut them, it's easy because there's so much color in them, unlike Australian opal where the color is in a very thin layer oftentimes, and the rest of the material has no color to it. Whereas the Ethiopian opal, when you cut one, it's hard to know which way's up just because the color's so strong on all sides.
okay. Let me see if anything else came in. I think everybody's winding down. So again, if you enjoyed the show, give us that thumbs up. Just click that little button. Helps out a lot. Make sure to subscribe, and you'll get new videos from us all the time, from Steve, from Michael. So again, thank you very much, everybody. I think that's probably it for tonight.
Yeah, probably. Many of the stones, like I've mentioned, were cut on this Ultratech V5 in the back. And I recommend it to you people that are interested in getting into cutting. And, if you do end up buying one of these machines, I do provide a fine piece of rough for you to get started on. So just let them know that you bought it because of me, and enjoy your time faceting as much as I do. So, all right, folks, remember, shop online at MoreGems.com. That's going to do it for us tonight. I'm Steve Moriarty. Keep on gemming.